Okay, so this is what I'm working on today, and it's a series of wall panels. You can see the shape there, and they're inspired by some of the industrial buildings at Rye Harbour, and I did a layer this morning. The panels got overfired, so they're not very porous, so I have to wait quite a long time for things to dry, but never mind. So that's the first two colours in, though this second one's actually 3 or 4 layers of colour already. Do I want to add any more to that? I was planning to. Now I'm not sure if I do. Quite like that as it is. Let's have a look at the other one. The second one in this sort of short series based on the same references. Can't remember which way up I was planning this one now. I'm always torn between how much detail to put in because I like it really simple actually, so I often have more complicated compositions in mind and then I look at the simple one and think, that's strong as it is. So that one, I think I'm going to leave it as it is. But maybe we'll do something more with this one. Right, so the template I cut out a minute ago. Scissors, scissors, where are the scissors? Everything gets buried under bits of paper. There they are. It's all quite improvisatory, this stuff. But that's how I like it. Right. Now it's just playing around with the shapes to see what combination. So that would be the kind of expected. I think I might take it all that way. Right, tape. So when I'm making these compositions, it starts with an actual photograph. Here's the photograph. But then that's very much the starting point, and it goes on to wherever it needs to go. Whatever seems interesting in that moment of creating it. And working in series, it means that I can explore different aspects of it over the series. Right. So, sort of bricky colour, but I'm going to start with a base layer of quite a dark brown. Sponges. There we go. So this is very dark. It would be too dark on its own, but I'm going to go back over it again when it's dry with some other colours so that it's got more depth and richness to it. and it's a little bit too wet, so I started on the point so that it can dry out a bit as I work towards this edge so that it doesn't bleed underneath too much. So while we've been talking about Art30 in the Get More Creative Facebook group, I've been thinking about what I want to do in my own practice, and I kind of took a bit of a break from it. You might know I lost my mum last November, and it really knocked me off course, so I haven't done a lot of art since then really, but I've just started to get going again, and I've been working on some big sculptural pieces that I'm trying to finish. But yeah, so for Art30 this time I thought I would double up and do, because I work in batches, I have to wait for this to dry, so I can't do any more on that for now, but I can do a second project, so that's what I'm doing for Art30. So let's have a look at the next panels that need some work. Right, so the next two, they're drawn on this vent, and I think I got caught by the contrast of the straight lines of the verticals and the roof line, and then the vertical of the vent pipe, but also these complicated angles. So that's what I'm looking at with these. But it's still very early days, so this has got a kind of grey-green colour. So I started with a layer of green underneath, but there's a bit too much green coming through, so I want to put some more grey on top of that, so it doesn't have these kind of green spots. So this is a second layer of grey, just to fill out some of those. So this coat is more about coverage, and it obscures the green at this stage, but because it's fired, this is ceramic colour rather than a paint, because I'm working on clay, all the colours will kind of interact with each other and kind of bleed through during the firing, so that the finished effect will be rather different. I'm kind of working blind, just from prior experience, gauging what I think is going to happen. Makes it a bit different from working with paint, but you get used to it. Finish off that edge. Right, that's that layer done. Okay, and the same for this second one. So once this is finished, I'll go back over and put some darker stripes in for those bars of very dark grey, and then the final touch will be that kind of thinking about how to communicate that shape of the pipe. Maybe I'll do another video to show you how that one turns out. It's all one step at a time, so that'll be probably tomorrow's job now. So it's all done step by step, and coming back the next day to do the next stage in the process. Okay, so let's have a look at how that one's come out. Everybody likes a peel and reveal. Da, 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 da. There we are. So it's quite simple at this stage, but this is the background really. So we'll see what happens next.